wear that vintage dream like forevermore. We're living in that vintage dream.
I'm thirsty. He grinned as he stumbled through the bar. Well, he said, give me some more love, give me some love, give it all. His breath clearly said it all. His car was parked behind the back door. Tuxedo black, El Camino 1969. Well, he said, give me some more love, give me some love, give it all. Filthy fingers said it all. Yeah. Give it all. Well, he said, give me some love, give me some love, give it all. His lazy eyes said it all. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Well, he said, give me some love, some love, give it all. Give me some love, give me some love, give it all. He said, give me some love, give me some love, give it all. Give me some love, give me some love, give it all. Alright, give it to me. Yeah. Alright, come on, come on, come on, come on. Hey, come on, come on, come on, come on. Some love, give me some love, give it all. Give me some love, give me some love, give it all. Give me some love, give me some love, give it all. Give me some love, give me some love, give it all. Baby, give me some love. Well, na 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 na. you got something to say to me, then say it to my face. What it's all about, why you're bailing out. Think you owe me an apology. Just say it to my face. You're sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. Say it to my face. You're sorry. And I quit my job for you, even quit some friends for you, 'cause you couldn't stand it, me all independent, so you had to have me for yourself. That was when I trusted you, when I could add up 2 and 2, when you promised we'd be together, you, me, forever. Now there's nothing left to lose. And though I understand it's hard sometimes to make up your mind in these trying times, yeah, I just can't accept you leaving me when I'm overseas with the heart so heavy. Think that I deserve the truth for once, not a guilty tone, 'cause you're not alone, yeah. You said you wanna come home, but I know you don't. So this time I won't hear it on the phone. If you got something to say to me, then say it to my face. What it's all about, why you're bailing out. Think you owe me an apology. Just say it to my face. You're sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. Say it to my face. You're sorry.
Join our membership program, sign up, find out what's going on, become a patron, and support our work. We're doing these amazing virtual live streams covering events, marches, protests, and actions that mainstream media just isn't covering.
A lot of these very common sense policy interventions aren't given the space they need.
You know, the truth is, before we have the political revolution, we need a media revolution.
We really see this opening in the media space, with television transitioning to the internet in particular. Streaming platforms, Netflix, Hulu, etc., are the next frontier.
And we're not mainstream media. You're not getting a 10-second clip and a very watered down, whitewashed version of what's going on.
Having a media company to support these kind of movement efforts is extremely valuable.
People want to talk to us because they know that we're talking to the people.
We need a dedicated, empowered, honorable base of people who are willing to fight for what they believe in.
This needs to be all of us, not just like watching great content, not just sharing great content, but taking the correlated action and making sure that together these movements are more effective across the board.
We are amplifying activist messages, activist movements, activist campaigns, activist call to action. There's no more important work to be done in this country right now, and ACT TV is doing it, and we need you to be a member. Go to ACT.tv and sign up to be a member today.
The Benjamin Dixon Show is only possible with listener support. Go to www.patreon.com/The BPD Show.
Today is Tuesday. It is March 29th, 2022. Thank you so much for joining us at the Benjamin Dixon Morning Show. It is the morning after, and I am joined by DJ Exclusive. We will be joined momentarily by Rebecca Azor. Dr. Carl Mack is out today. He was coming in, James, to talk about, quite honestly, I think it's the only thing people are talking about. And it's a little bit unfortunate because so much more happened at the Oscars than Will Smith having the confrontation with Chris Rock. But good morning to everyone at Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, wherever you're watching. Our partners at Act TV, where they encourage you to do more than watch. They want you to act. Good morning to everyone. DJ Exclusive, how are you this morning, man?
I'm doing good, brother. How about yourself?
Doing good, man. Both of us have different backgrounds, man. Are you out on location? You had a party this weekend? What's going on your way?
I'm actually in my living room. I painted the wall behind me weeks ago because you know me. Once I get bored in the house and I'm in the house bored, I'm gonna start doing stuff to get my mind wandering. So I decided to take on I decided to take on a new project, and I did like some little artwork on my wall. I'm like, oh, this looks pretty damn good. So I'm like, let me broadcast in front of this wall this morning.
It looks good. I thought you were like in the island somewhere, like you went off to another country. Speaking of, James, I want to go through the headlines really quickly and give us time before we have to talk about Will Smith, because I mean, it is news, and it's news on so many different levels. That said, the people of Shanghai are preparing themselves for China's biggest COVID-19 lockdown in 2 years. Now, this is coming on the heels of the BA, I believe it's 1.2 variant, James, the one that is spreading across the United States of America very rapidly. And this is in the backdrop of everything else that has happened here and up to this point. It's strange seeing China go in this direction and the United States go an entirely different direction. It's like we're dropping the mask mandates, we're dropping the vaccine mandates, and we're opening up like everything is normal. China does a couple of things better than us. Let's just be real. We don't have to be, patriotic here, overly patriotic. How do you feel about us opening up while China is starting to lock down again?
Excuse me, man. Being out this weekend, I had to DJ an event for a 70th birthday party, and granted, a lot of the people that were there at that party, they had their mask on, but walking in the hotel in the ballroom, man, no mask at all. When I tell you, it's just like the United States is wide open, man, and I'm fearful. Like, bro, honestly, I already feel me being out, even though I had my mask on as well too. I'm just like, man, I want to go get tested because I'm still scared. It's still a pandemic going on. It's almost just like nothing has happened. Everybody's like, oh, we back open now. Everything is cool. Right. No, not at all.
Oh man, not to be so coy with death, but the bodies are hitting the floor, man. Like exactly, they're dropping. They're still dropping all over the country to the tune of thousands of people every single week. There have been weeks where we've had 10,000 Americans, not globally, just Americans who died from COVID-19, and yet we're opening up as if everything is good. I think I'm going to take my signal on this one from China, man, and I'm going to continue to lock down. I didn't really ever stop the lockdown. We had to move, and in that process, I got a taste of what it was like to be not locked down. You're right. The world has gone, America has gone on. America's just like, I don't think it ever shut down for more than a month. But here we are. The United States is going in one direction and China is going in another one. Here's another headline. The Biden administration will propose a minimum tax on the wealthiest households. Now, the Biden administration has taken a lot of heat this week for several issues. This is going to be one of them, because we know the most important thing in the United States of America is that the richest people in this country don't pay any taxes. I mean, if we just look at the policies that passed over since 2017. 2017 is when Donald Trump and Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell and all of them gave the richest people in this country I mean, it was a windfall. I mean, those folks were so rich after Donald Trump gave them the tax break in 2017, they started buying mega yachts, right? So here we are now. The Biden administration is saying we need to propose a minimum tax, and of course, Republicans are coming out in full. I mean, you even have one or two Democrats. Like, I'm quite sure we're going to see Joe Manchin of West Virginia. Possibly, we'll see. I don't know. He has surprised me. No, he's never surprised me. But anyway, I digress. The point is the opposition is gearing up, because if there's one thing that this system is prepared to stop at any cost, it's not the pandemic. It's not the coup of January 6th. They're prepared to stop taxes from going up on the wealthy. So I'd be interested in seeing how this plays out.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And it sucks because here it is. I'm in the, I guess what they consider to be, man, I ain't in no middle class. I'm low middle class, I guess, probably lower than that.
Just working class, bro.
Working class, exactly, man. And here it is. I get knocked over the head with taxes, man. And I'll be, we already had this conversation where I say I'm not going to talk about my taxes, and so I'm not going to talk about it. But here it is. I get hit over the head with my taxes, and so it's just like, damn, I get charged where I'm ending up owing money every year. Y'all are taking out all this money from my check, and I'm still owing y'all.
Right.
So I have to handle myself accordingly.
Yeah. And you have companies like Amazon, Walmart, all these companies who literally get away with paying no taxes. Meanwhile, my working class behind gets a couple $100 taken out from my check, not from my check, but just from my bank account every month, straight to the IRS. It's not going to an employer. It's going straight to the IRS, because they are going to make sure that every single month they get what they expect from my enterprising. I'm just not big enough to afford the kind of lawyers and accountants that could help me avoid taxes, but we'll get there eventually, because I'm only going to pay what Donald Trump pays in taxes. I'll tell you that much.
Exactly.
When I get his kind of rich, that's all I'm going to pay, not a dime more. Here's another headline. The FDA and the CDC is considering approval of a fourth COVID shot for people over 50. The flip side of this is they're also cutting funding, not the CDC, obviously, but the federal government is cutting funding for these vaccines. So if anyone has not gotten their booster shot, I don't even know if it's already too late. David, you could chime in here if it's not already too late. But once this funding is cut, if you haven't already gotten your booster shot and you don't have insurance, right? The funding that came from the government ensured that everyone could get the vaccine, no matter whether you had insurance or not. All right. So that was the number one goal. That has now changed. That funding is coming to an end. And if you have not gotten your vaccine, I don't know why, but if you haven't gotten your booster, which some people haven't gotten a chance to, you need to get it before the funding goes out, especially if you do not have insurance. So that amongst the backdrop that they're recommending a fourth booster shot for people over 50. Real quick, James, my natural inclination, I'm going to be honest with you.
I think I know what you're about to say, man.
I just got to keep it real. If I don't keep it real, the third shot, I was like, okay, I get it. The fourth shot, I'm like, y'all, come on now. Come on now,
man. My whole thing is if they're out here pushing and pushing for a fourth vaccine or a fourth booster shot, that should already say right there, man, we're not over. We're not out of this thing yet, man.
Near ending this thing. So if we are thank you, James. James, you actually said something worth more than what I said, because you had a point there that was really salient. You said that how are they going to be recommending a fourth shot simultaneously saying we're open for business, everything's fine, let's get back to normal, and cutting the funding? Yeah, this is a little problematic for me, James, because every signal that the world is sending, every other country, every other nation is saying, hey, we're hunkering down. We're going to keep the funding going through the rest of the pandemic because we're still in the pandemic. And yet the United States is saying, go back to work. Okay. Moving on to the stuff that I know everybody wants to talk about. I wanted to pause before we got to Will Smith because Brother Max said over the weekend, James, he said, Will Smith smacked Chris Rock so hard he knocked Russia and Ukraine out of the headlines for a whole day. And I said,
he did.
Now that was a slap heard around the world. Now I am still in full solidarity with the people of Ukraine, but it kind of bothers me to think that Zelensky might have actually gotten an update on his phone saying Will Smith slapped Chris Rock in the middle of fighting against Vladimir Putin. James, the black delegation. This has been an interesting weekend. Let's just get to it, man. What are your thoughts on all? I mean, we could play the clip, David, if you want to run it in B-roll, but this is the slap. Everybody saw it. Everybody heard it. My pastors, multiple pastors talking about it. I mean, random people on the street. I've never seen a story talked about as much as this. What do you say, man?
Man, Ben, I was went to get some Chinese food yesterday. They talking about it in the Chinese restaurant, talking about it on the radio, everywhere, man. Social media. I'll open up Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everything. It's the same thing everywhere. They're talking about the slap, and it's so many varying opinions, bruh. It's just crazy, really crazy. And I know we're gonna dive deep into it.
We're gonna dive deep into it. Rebecca Zora, believe it or not, she's gonna be. I'm sorry, no shade, sis. I love you. She's coming early because I asked her to, so she's gonna be coming in early. How am I gonna ask her early?
Y'all see, I'm here, right? 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm already on screen.
James is here.
At 6 o'clock. Get on.
Dr. Mack was scheduled to be here early, and we just wanted to dive right in. So we are going to get to the full story momentarily and get a roundtable discussion. Because here's the thing, James, I feel all the ways. I feel like if there was underlying tension between them and this joke, which obviously, if you look at Jada Pinkett Smith's face, she didn't appreciate the joke, right?
Yeah.
And it came at her expense, and it came at the expense of her condition, alopecia, which we've covered on this show from the vantage point of Congresswoman. What's her sister name from Massachusetts with alopecia? Well, we've covered it several times. Rebecca has covered it several times. I can't think of our sister name. Somebody in the chat room is going to say Ayanna Presley. Thank you.
Yeah, there we go.
So it is an issue. It is an issue that we've covered, and it's an issue that is serious. And we understand also, here's the other side, right? Jokes are told. People I don't know. I feel all the ways. I don't know if I'm going to risk the entirety of my family fortune, because one thing's for sure. Will Smith about to pay some money out.
Yeah. And it's funny because, Ben, we're not the only one that feels that way. Even the Academy, the members of the Academy, there have been a lot of things coming out from them saying, okay, Will was wrong, but Chris Rock got what he deserved. Oh, then you have others saying, wow. Oh, yes, man. The Academy themselves, there was one tweet I did put in Slack as well, too, where one of the Academy members, like, Chris Rock should be happy that's all he got, because he released a documentary previously called Black Hair or something about black people's hair.
Yeah.
Okay, Good Hair, which was a great movie, great documentary. But here it is, you get on stage and make a joke about a black woman's hair. So it's one of those things. It's so conflicting. So definitely it makes it seem like there's so much underlying stuff that's under that as well too. Because let's not forget as well too, y'all. I'm about to drop this on y'all. 2016, black people boycotted the Oscars. Chris Rock was the only one that agreed to go host. So here it is. Yeah. He's being the only black person there. And then while he's on stage as the only black person there, he talked about Jada then as well too. So I don't know what Chris Rock's issue is.
That's
with
right.
Jada, man, but it's more than what's there on the surface, bro. Honestly, at first I didn't feel that way, but honestly, now going back and looking at everything, there's some other stuff that's there with Chris Rock and Jada, bro.
The expressions on the faces of the people in the audience is golden. Look at that. If you look at their faces, they're like, Will Smith, not the little boy. Not Fresh Prince. they're like, wait. They're like, what just happened? And then also, before I even play the clip, I want to give a shout out to Will Packer, who put the entire night together, right? He produced the show, and it was I didn't watch it. I just because I don't watch TV like that. But the presentation, everything was brilliant. And I hate that it took away. And then also Samuel L. Jackson getting his first Oscar. There were so many things that happened that night. And hell, even Will Smith still got an Oscar.
And then not to mention as well too, the award that Chris Rock was giving out, Best Documentary, Summer of Soul won that nomination. And that's Questlove's movie from The Roots. So here it is. You had a black man that was winning an award being overshadowed by 5 minutes previously, somebody getting slapped on stage. So now you got to go back on stage and go with that, especially it's like, damn, that was like really overshadowed everything. It overshadowed the whole night, honestly. It really did. Yeah.
I like what what Diddy said. He said Will and Chris are going to handle this like family. He said that immediately after the slap. I think we got Rebecca Zor in the house, y'all.
Yes, we do. But Diddy's ass, Diddy, he said all of that and honestly didn't talk to either one of them. So Diddy was just running his mouth, just talking. Oh, Lord. And I hate that because I really would have liked that to happen. But yeah, no, everybody went on to their own different parties and to their own different events.
Good morning to you, Rebecca Zor. It is 8. It is. I mean, it's super early in the morning. First and foremost, thank you so much for pulling up. And
Rebecca,
how you doing, Queen?
Good. I don't like that the lower third is covering me. But
girl, good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning. Yeah, it's pretty early.
It is early, and I honestly thought about calling everybody in yesterday, but I know y'all get some. It was your day off. It was everybody's day off. But ain't nobody gonna stop talking about this.
Honestly, I would have been okay coming in yesterday because it was so big and so hot, and I mean that was really terrible.
But I told Ben I would have came in yesterday for sure to discuss this. So it would have been because it was a top story yesterday. But not only was it a top story, it actually, I don't know where you guys were in the conversation, but it actually had like so many different layers to it. Like,
yes, Rebecca,
in our community, I think the conversation was super colorful. And what's so crazy about it, let me put my mic over here. And what's so crazy about it is that why did I feel connected to each comment in some way, shape, or form?
Yes.
And it's like, I don't agree with you, but I see, it was like people were laying out things that made sense. Yes.
Yeah.
And so, I felt like in that particular moment, I can't even say I don't want to be a part of this conversation for the Black community with the Black community on this particular matter. It was when the people started chiming in that didn't quite look like us.
Hello, somebody.
They they didn't quite look like us, and I just felt that in that moment. Even the people I didn't agree with in the Black community, we were arguing with each other. Not me, because I don't argue with the kids on the Instagram. I say what I say and I walk away. But I saw the conversations going. I'm like, okay, that's a great argument. I mean, I don't agree with that, but I could see where you're coming from with that. Okay, somebody challenged you on why you feel that way and you laid it down. It was when people started coming from the crevices. The crevices of suburban town, baby.
The cracks of the fault lines.
The crevices of damn Fox News. The crevices of January 6th.
Come on. Talking about violence.
They started creeping out saying, violence is not the way. Someone could have died. This is not what we should be seeing. And then somebody said, Chris Rock was one of the 7 people that the white community liked. And, that's why they felt that they had to protect him. I said, no, they did not have to protect him only because Will Smith was one of the 7 that they beloved. They were pissed off that their beloveds we're getting we're doing this, and they're Black beloveds, and they weren't tap dancing for them. And that's my problem. When people in our community, even when Kanye, we don't like him. Look, we don't say Kanye, but even when Kanye did what he did, what do? We said this. Let's tap in. Let's make sure that we can we can have this conversation amongst each other. But there were tweets like this, right, by our Black community. Violence is not never the answer. Baby, your granddaddy is an active member of the KKK. Start your activism at home. When I read that, I was like, yes. Then we have Chris Rock's one joke. one joke was rooted in misogynoir. This is something that was the conversation, texturism and ableism, and ableism, excuse me, degrading a Black woman in a room full of her peers on live TV. The fact y'all don't see, and hold right there, David, the fact y'all don't see that as violent is beyond to me. Now, this conversation, I believe, is the one that a lot of people are on the side of, and a lot of people aren't on the side of. And I say this, in my opinion, and I want to get what you guys got. Did you guys play the clip of him?
Not yet. No, we were holding.
Not yet. No.
Okay, so let's go ahead and play the clip before we get to this conversation. I want people to understand where we're coming from with this conversation. So let's play that clip of what happened. The slap heard across the world.
the universe.
He is praying that Will Smith wins. Like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
ウィル・スミスにやられました。
Wow, dude. It was a G.I. Jane joke.
G.I. Jane のジョークだったんです。
I'm going to, okay? Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. So we are here.
He took it. I gotta give Chris Rock one thing. He took it. He stood there and took it. There's so many things. There's layers in this thing, man.
It's layers. And somebody posted a still image of the slap, right? And they got it to where it looks, because at first Chris Rock looks like they like examined the whole scene where it looks like Chris is leaning into it, like he's bracing for it. So you see right there, thank you, David. It looks like he's bracing for it. Head tucked, arm down, same thing they do in acting almost. So that's why I think everybody thought that it was a joke or that it was scripted. But then I'm thinking that Chris Rock maybe thought that maybe Will Smith is getting ready to come whisper something in his ear, just say something to him.
Yeah.
But then no,
he whispered
because in that one point when he slapped him, Chris Rock like he was about to pop back. I just saw that like he flinched back, like, okay, wait a minute, I gotta remember where I am.
Right.
No, I didn't.
You didn't feel that? What? See, everybody feels something. What did you feel, Rebecca?
First of all, I do have to acknowledge the fact that the Asian translator was giving her best. Now imagine the people. Now they over there watching in another country. They over here having to translate the BS. My God,
I've told you, man. We probably in Russian news right now, and they carrying out a war.
Hold this video because I gotta talk about this video too. But listen, it was the fact in the moment, all of us seeing that, it was the shock factor. You can't tell me you weren't shocked. You may have been shocked in silence. Let me tell you guys exactly what I was doing in that moment. I saw it, I turned it off, and I went to go listen to a song that was upbeat. I swear. Because I didn't understand what was happening. I needed to really sit there and process what I saw because it was very, very confusing. But in that moment, you guys, I know you guys saw what I saw, right? Before we talk about Chris's comments, Will Smith was laughing.
That's right.
Yeah.
After he laughed, I think we kind of had a visual on the side of Jada wincing at the joke. Yeah. And I think at that point, I think we can look at it from this point of view, if we can, because this is one of the great points that were made. Imagine the whole time, look, rolling her eyes just through. Imagine the whole time, every time they saying something about Jada, it's just Jada and Tupac, Jada and Augie, Jada, Jada just out here. Jada, not your wife, Ben, but Jada Pinkett Smith. Jada, it's too much. anybody mentions your wife, and I know you could I seen you do this. You go crazy. Like, what you said about my wife?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a natural reaction.
And we haven't seen him really do that. And he's been very like in his book trying to come out and say, I too fell in love with someone on set. And they're like, get out of here, Will. Like he's trying to like match Jada's messiness. That's what it's like. But in this particular moment, I felt like, oh, she ain't laughing. It's time for me to protect. It's time for me to tap in to the man that she said Tupac was. But I also see a spiral, like a spiral out of everything that has been happening, everything that has been going on within the Jada and Will in front of us. And I can't say that we know them, but whatever they've shown us, whatever we've heard for years, we've heard so many things, and now we're seeing things, and we're like, oh, let's add our 2 cents. And he hasn't really said much, I would say, on behalf of Jada in a protective way, I would say. But in the same
I saw the laugh.
But in the same sense, somebody dropped something on that too, y'all. Somebody said, this is not I need y'all to understand, white folks who are watching. This is not the black women are this or the black men are this conversation. But somebody did make a point. They said Will Smith has been humiliated as well, so much in this relationship that we've seen in the public with Jada, his wife, so much. And has endured so much just being there.
That's what I saw.
Almost been said, almost as if he's just not a man, right? Not a, like, he's not up for the challenge as much as she speaks about what kind of man Tupac was every year. On just the anniversary every year, she's going to mention how much of a man Tupac was and how he made her feel.
She does that every year?
Yeah, every year. And then August Alsina, being a young man, and I feel like she almost preyed on him in his moment because that man was down and out. That's how I felt. But that's my business. But somebody made a point and said, in that particular moment, when she saw her man going up there to look a fool, she could have protected him in that moment as well. Both of them, I just feel like, haven't been protecting each other. And they're in this space, and he's going down a downward spiral, been embarrassed like nobody's business.
You think she could have grabbed him before he got to?
Saying like she could have touched him, but then we had the conversation of why do women have to always do that in that moment? It's so much great conversations, you guys.
It's layers,
and the conversation of alopecia from a man saying something about G.I. Jane. And it could be her outfit. It could have been her hair. What was the context of this conversation? We all understand that it most likely was the haircut.
Yeah. And
she has been suffering with alopecia. But even in that moment, a man that made a whole documentary about Black women's hair.
Yeah,
there was
exactly
in the documentary where there was a woman that he spoke with and was enamored by, who talked about her battle with alopecia.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
so
yeah,
you see what I'm saying? Everything is just like,
we're gonna
real quick.
Go ahead.
I will say this: I think Jada actually walked out when he went up there.
Right.
So I don't think she was there in the sitting down
when the hit actually happened.
When it actually happened, because at one point when he went back down and said what he said, I don't think Jada was there.
She was, she was at the table next to him. They weren't really sitting at the same. If you look, there's another. She's kind of leaning over. They were together because when she went back to sit down, they did like a head nod. She went to console her man. Like,
well, I tell you what, y'all, we're gonna dig into this a little bit more because unfortunately, this is all anybody is talking about, mainly because it has so many layers, and it is worth talking about, especially with the accusations and the foolishness that came as a result of it. So let's talk about that after this break. Exactly. We're gonna go to a quick break. We'll be back with more of the Benjamin Dixon Morning Show right after this.
No, you just can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me. No, no, no. No, you just can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me. No. See, it's hard to be polite. It's easy being petty. Mama used to tell me, gotta use you.
Y'all, I forgot to tell y'all, I met Tom Hanks once. I met Tom Hanks. He said he was rude as hell though. He was just so rude. I asked for an autograph and all he wrote was thanks.
So be a light up on my path and a lamp under my feet. I know my faith strong, but my flesh still kind of weak. When that victory be looking like the verge of defeat,
so many
and I
people
feel like
here. Watch what I say.
Tell my other cheek and say sticks and stones may break my bones, but your words can't hurt me.
Oh, y'all get it now.
I've been right more than I've been wrong, and it still can't hurt me. No, it just can't hurt me. No.
Hey, y'all, also, I learned how to use disposable masks, like coffee masks or filters to brew espresso. I learned to use disposable masks to brew espresso because they're coffee filters. Coffee filters? Today in the background talking about they might shut this channel down. Man, go to hell today.
It was just a misunderstanding.
Y'all know I ain't got no damn sense, man. Y'all leave me alone. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. Our sister from another mister be joining us soon. You have just heard the Robo Bubba.
Okay. I was about to say, I said, let's bring us back because that Robo Bubba, that wasn't the real Bubba. That was
so familiar.
Look, and what happened is, let me tell y'all, apparently I lost my power cord for my mixer. So here it is. I'm up at 6 o'clock in the morning, just tearing this house up looking for it. And it's either somewhere in my car that I can't find it at yet, or in the ballroom that I DJ'd at over the weekend.
Oh,
so
Lord.
I'm going to have to go on a mission. Because right now I'm just like, and when I tell y'all I tried everything this morning, I tried, y'all. I'm just like, oh, I ain't going to be able to use it.
No, we had, that was interesting. I was like, wait a minute. I didn't know. I was like, those jokes, I think I heard the Tom Hanks one, but they still went over my head though. Do you remember do you remember the punchline?
No.
Like, I still don't get the Tom Hanks one, man. This is like 6 months later. I've been trying.
I'm trying to remember, like, what was that joke? What did I say?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. All right, listen. So we got other parts of this. There's Will Smith sent an Instagram apology. Right. And so then there was the rumors that Chris Rock sent out an apology, which he not an apology, but a statement, which he did not. We'll go through that fiasco. But this really, the night got even more interesting, if you ask me, because Will Smith won. Was it Best Actor for King Richard? And here is his acceptance speech after hitting Chris Rock.
And the Oscar goes to
Will Smith!
Richard Williams was a fierce defender of his family. In this time in my life, in this moment, I am overwhelmed by what God is calling on me to do and be in this world. Making this film, I got to protect Ingenue Ellis, who was one of the strongest, most delicate people I've ever met. I'm being called on in my life to love people and to protect people and to be a river to my people. And I know to do what we do, you got to be able to take abuse. You got to be able to have people talk crazy about you. In this business, you got to be able to have people disrespecting you. And you got to smile and you got to pretend like that's okay. Thank you, D. Denzel said to me a few minutes ago, he said, at your highest moment, be careful. That's when the devil comes for you. I want to be a vessel for love I want to say thank you to Venus and Serena. I just spit. I hope they didn't see that on TV. I want to apologize to the Academy. I want to apologize to all my fellow nominees. I'm not crying for winning an award. It's not about winning an award for me. It's about being able to shine light. Art imitates life. I look like crazy father, just like they said about Richard Williams.
Okay.
But love will make you do crazy things. To my mother, a lot of this moment is really complicated for me, but being able to love and care for my mother and my family, my wife, thank you for this honor. Thank you for this moment, and thank you on behalf of Richard and Oracene, the entire Williams family. Hope the Academy invites me back. Thank
you. Well, I mean, if everybody's as mixed in their opinions as that one person from the Academy, I think Will Smith will be fine. But yeah, I feel you on Rebecca. When you were saying like a spiral, I feel that spiral. And we'll be joined at 8:45 by Dr. Nyasha. She's going to be joining us on a regular basis to have an ongoing conversation about mental health collectively, as a group, as Black people and human beings facing all the things we're facing. It's interesting that this is the first episode that she's coming in on, because when I watch him speak, I hear him trying to be strong, but I also see a lot of a distress there. I mean, but I'm not a doctor, but we'll speak to a doctor about it momentarily.
Watching the speech, because I told you what I felt when I didn't I say no? I'm just kidding, David. Watching the speech, it was like me not getting what I thought he was gonna give. I love that he mentioned Anjanou. I hope I'm saying her name right.
And we lost your main mic.
Oh.
Because I know what you're about to say is about to be what we need to hear. We'll make sure the people hear you loudly and clearly.
And real quick, while she's doing that, these reaction shots are actually not from.
Oh, they're not from the thing?
Yeah, they're not from last night's.
Man,
the actual Oscars. No, that's not real, because that whole setup, the way they had everything set up, is totally different. That's definitely not from.
Who set us up for the okie doke? Because that's
when I saw it the first time, I'm like, wait, that don't look like the Dolby Theater.
Okay, here we go. Now,
all right. So thank you for that correction, James. Go ahead, Rebecca.
Well, not all of those were. I don't know if I know Nicole Kidman, I think was a real shot, and so was Lupita Nyong'o. She was sitting right next to him, so we saw that with our own too. Beyonce was real. There was actually one moment where she has her finger up, but I think she was having her finger up because she was having a conversation, but that was live. These are live reactions right here. I literally feel like when he did make his speech, like, I love that he talked about in the moment. I think he was referencing that, if some of you don't know, when the woman who played his wife, Serena and Venus's mother in the film King Richard, Anjanou. I hope I'm saying her name right. I really do, because I love her name. But the woman who played her, the actor, wasn't paid right. And so she reached out to Will Smith on the side and let him know that she was not getting paid as the other people on that were in the movie. And she's one of the main characters. And so he made sure that she got paid correctly, and also went to make sure that the other people got paid correctly, which was amazing. So in that particular moment, I absolutely love that he mentioned that. And for him to compare that to how he protects women and how Black men essentially should be protecting women, it made sense, you guys. It made sense. But then again, you just slapped 5, 10 out of somebody moments ago. And I don't know if you guys mentioned this, but this Oscars was produced by Florida A&M graduate Will Packer.
Yep.
Who we know is famous, and especially in our community, huge, Tyler Perry level, These are guys that make a lot of great shows, films. You know, they have production companies that employ lots of Black people. And so the Oscars said, let's try it. They said the Oscars are so white. Let's get someone to do it, right? They got Will Packer. It was going smooth. Everybody was talking about it going smooth, right? And then we get this slap. Ben, I said that it was something like it became the Source Awards. You said nah. You said nah.
It wasn't the Source. It wasn't. It was more of a friendly slap to a duel. Man. There was no peace. Come on.
In that moment, though, I think this and BET Awards ain't that bad either. I like watching the BET Awards. But in this particular moment, the hip hop award, y'all. But in this particular moment, I was like, dang. Not that he messed it up because white folks are watching. I'm just like, dang, like this was a great opportunity to show the great that Black people do. But then I also thought about it and I'm like, this is our business. This is stuff that happens literally at our kitchen table, like us at the family reunions, you know, when we're going home for the holidays in December, you know, or November for Thanksgiving. And we got the drunk uncle. Don't want to say that Will was drunk. I'm not making assumptions. I'm just saying what I'm saying. But we got the drunk, unstable uncle pulling up, doing some stuff he ain't got no business doing. We got the brother or the auntie or the sister or the mom doing something like slapping five, threatening to run you over, pulling out a gun on you. I hate that it's toxic. I'm not saying it's great, but these things happen, right? And then we turn around by the end of the night, we all sitting at the same damn dinner table trying to figure stuff out because you're going to eat this food. We may not talk for this time, but you're gonna eat this food. We're gonna have this conversation. This one I said it's Black business. Some of y'all watching it ain't gonna understand, and so you guys are gonna say it's toxic. You're gonna say this and that, and it might be like this might be, but at the end of it all, we gonna talk to each other. We're gonna comfort each other. In this particular moment that he made his speech, I didn't like that he didn't apologize to him. But sometimes people can be stubborn as hell. Yeah, sometimes people can be stubborn as hell. I think that he was just going through the motions. He had just he was approached by Denzel Washington and Tyler Perry. And then what people aren't talking about, I know the conversation was, why didn't anybody go to Chris Rock? You think Denzel wasn't going to talk to both parties?
Right.
You think Denzel wasn't going to talk to both parties? There is a photo of Denzel approaching Chris Rock and having a conversation with him. What was said to him, I don't know. We don't know just yet because, again, that we haven't heard anything from Chris Rock or his brother Tony. We haven't heard anything from them on that side. However, that what Denzel told him, which he utilized in his speech, makes to me Will a great damn actor. That man said, I am going to tap in. Denzel just told me this. That's money. That is money for the speech. She said, and I never heard Will speak in a spiritual way like that. He said,
everybody get real spiritual when you're in trouble, though. Everybody.
It's true.
Well, I've heard him speak like that before. He's on another speech. I've heard him speak like that before.
I've never heard him speak like that. He's like, God has me here for a reason. And I said, hold on now. Denzel done tapped in. When he said that, you know, when you get to a higher level, that's when the devil, you know, comes to attack you. That's gonna be every pastor's Sunday sermon.
Funny thing, you just mentioned pastors.
Don't let Michael Todd utilize this slap in Denzel's words for his sermon.
Rebecca, you know, but listen. I said I've been sitting with some pastors and organizing around different states. I spoke with some pastors yesterday. The pastor said, had that been them, they would have laid him out right at the altar. Will Smith would have been laid out right at the altar. It had been some pastors. I don't know how many preachers going to preach that sermon about Will Smith.
They're going to utilize Denzel. They're going to say, you know,
definitely.
You know, when you get to a higher level, come on, somebody. That's what you can learn anything.
Oh, Shana, come on now.
Get to a higher level.
Preach, Reverend.
Oh, you get the right one.
When you get to a higher level.
All right, so let me ask you this question though, straight up and down, straight up and down. That happens to you in real person, real life. That's you. You are Chris Rock. Are you going to be able to hold your composure and not lay hands?
I'm going under the jail.
Like with me, it depends because I have anger management issues. Like I see it from both sides because I see where Will came from because in that moment I probably would have reacted the same way. But then I see where Chris Rock come from. It's just like, okay, I probably would have went after him as well too. So I see it for both sides because when that anger take you over, bro, you do some stuff like it's a lot, and you do some stuff that you're gonna regret. So I tell you, count to 10. Count to 10.
I'm the one. Like, I seen it. If my man did that for me, we're leaving tonight, and you're gonna knock me up on the way home. But that's in the same instance. I'm like, I don't like that he's not, and not because of a violence thing being shown in front of white people. That's not it. I just don't like to see. I don't like to see that. I don't like to see that at all. And
listen, joining us now is a longtime supporter of the show and a person that I've been able to talk to over the years, just in terms of what does it mean to address mental health for large communities. And as we speak to our audiences, how do we address those issues? Good morning to Dr. Nyasha. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Ben. We've been working on this for like a solid year. So
yes.
This is timely now, right?
Absolutely. And I guess it is so fitting that we are having this first conversation on the heels of what happened with Will Smith. And just for everyone in the audience, you and I have been discussing how we can create a almost like a methodology, a program, right? A month by month where we kind of look at mental health as a community in a processual way. Before we talk about Will Smith, because everybody's going to be talking about that forever, let's talk about a little bit about what we'd like to accomplish in terms of why we should do it in increments and not just talk about it one day and then leave it alone. Why do we need to talk about mental health on a regular basis?
Yeah, well, you and I specifically talked about kind of rolling out a monthly series that focused on trauma education in particular, because what we see typically is that something happens, the community is traumatized, and we have people who come on and talk about trauma, relating to that one particular incident, and they try to, cover it all in 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or even an hour segment. And we wanted to approach it in bite sizes so that the audience really could come back and refer to it and really develop a better understanding of kind of these different dimensions of trauma and how we're impacted by them, how we enact them, and maybe some steps on how we heal from them.
Yeah. One of the first things, one of the main reasons, right, the obvious why we started these conversations was because of the collective trauma that we're going through as a country, as a species, quite honestly, with COVID-19, the lockdown, the pandemic, so much death, so many plans interrupted. Just speak collectively about, rather not collectively, but speak about collective trauma and how we are. I feel like we're overexposed, but at the same time, we need the information to survive. How do we handle that dichotomy?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's best to handle it when you're not in the midst of a collective traumatic crisis event, which I feel like we're actually in the midst of right now. Again, people want to say, oh, this isn't a big deal, it's entertainment. But I think that what happened at the Oscars is emblematic of how collective trauma can show up. So because of the medium of television, we were all exposed to that traumatic assault. And so one of the first things that we were going to talk about was collective trauma and vicarious trauma. So while I am not Chris Rock, I was not physically on the stage, I did not physically get slapped by Will Smith, being in that proximity in terms of the viewing of that assault could set off traumatic triggers for me, which it did. I mean, it was horrifying. And the fact that we're not there in person doesn't mean, and I speak about this a lot in many different places, that we're not energetic beings. And so just because it happened through the medium of television, that doesn't mean that energy didn't get into us. Witnessing that. So it's hard for me to talk about it in abstract when we're right now dealing real time. And I think even the responses that I see on Twitter, and I talked about the hot takes that are being offered, I feel like some of those hot takes are trauma responses.
Yeah, I had a couple myself, if I have to be honest with you, right? Rebecca and James, and I want everybody just jump in there.
So, you're totally right. I'm glad that we have an expert's perspective on this. Watching this, like I said, we can unpack it in so many different ways and agree and disagree, but I can say we all had our different experiences from watching it. Some women I've heard, like even what I said, if a man stuck up for me, you know what I'm saying? Like it would make me feel like, okay, great. And in the same sense, I don't like to see Black men going at it in that manner. It is traumatic. I went back to labeling when we go home to family functions. We've seen this trauma. We've normalized this trauma. And so you're totally right. But when you see Will, and as you know, you're just like us, it's something that we've been watching from TV because we don't personally know Will Smith. But when we see that, how do you as a professional describe his behavior?
Well, I said, and this is where I said on social media, we all need to hit a pause button and take a breath, myself included. My first reaction, I had a lot of different reactions. And my first reaction initially was from the perspective of a woman whose man stood up for her. And my first reaction, I talked about it with my parents. I was like, well, you talk slick, you get dealt with. That's just
right.
I had to step back and be like, Nyasha.
Yeah, I had to
was that a trauma response? And then I also thought about it from the perspective of Chris Rock getting hit. And I think what really disturbed me and what is still actually causing me to shake in my system is that Will Smith was able to do that and go back to his seat and be at the ceremonies. And that triggered another kind of victimization that we often see against women, where men are able to perpetrate an assault and go about their business. I mean, he went about his business in such a spectacular way. I mean, you can hear it in my voice. I'm shaking a little bit. It's stunning to me. And then so to see the media or the social media reactions to that is so disturbing. In terms of what I think was going on in Will Smith psychology, you know, we're not supposed to diagnose people in public and stuff.
Right.
Clients. But I mean, I think that he was, his behavior was erratic, and it felt as though, and I said this on social media as well, is that we were all subjugated to the messy dynamics of their relationship and their marriage. He was laughing at first, and then he took a look at
that part,
at Jada, right, and then saw her face and was like, "Oh, yeah, and just overcorrected." You know what I mean? For what may have been within their relationship dynamic, a misstep on his part, for lack. And so because he misstepped and had to overcorrect, we all had to be subjected
part of that
to that hard show. And that's where I say, you know, in multiple places, folks, we have got to do our healing work outside. I mean, it's just not fair. It's not fair
to put the entire world through what they were going through. I feel that. That's
we just came from one of their instances, one of their situations, and this is not something that we made up in the media. This time they showed us that entanglement and people who were being cheated on, people we were all having conversations about that, and it was something that we had to be drugged into, and some people had to peel back the layers again of their own relationships. So you're right. You are totally right, and I hate to see this being something that we constantly have to, be a part of. And yes, we're going to have our opinions of it, but sometimes, you're right. And I don't think I noticed it. And thank you for breaking it down that way. Like literally until you just spoke about it, watching it, it's like, yes, my first reaction is to say, shoot, you know what I'm saying? You talk your mess, you're going to get slapped.
Right. Who's going to jump up to get smacked down? Right.
Stand up for his woman. Why would he get it? And then now, it's like, and then I did back up and I said, but I hate to see, like, I want to see more of the brothers hugging and talking to each other, but I don't want that. I don't want to see brothers like, hitting each other. And that's not, I know that happens, but like we've all seen it and we hate to see it because sometimes it just doesn't.
I want to see more concern and compassion for Chris Rock. I'm very disturbed by the lack of concern and compassion for Chris Rock. So imagine, as I said in social media, from all reports, he did not know that Jada it has alopecia. And that joke was not a joke about her medical condition. I didn't know Jada had alopecia until all of this happened, because I don't live my life around the Smiths, to be quite honest. And also, so the assumption, even if she's been talking about it publicly, the assumption that we're all in the know, you know, on all the intimate details of the happenings in their life it's a little bit arrogant, I think, and a little narcissistic.
Right.
And then, so, like I said, after my initial reaction of, well, you talk slick, you get dealt with, then thinking about Chris Rock, who's telling, it was kind of a lame joke, but telling, and then just getting assaulted
in front of the whole world.
In front of the whole world. And just, I heard you, you know, before I came on, you were like, what would you have done? I don't know what I would have done. It's so stunning. It would have been so disorienting. You would have had no idea. I mean, as I imagine, he had no idea where this was coming from. And even he says it was a G.I. Jane joke. Like, it's like,
what was
on?
And it's so crazy because even when he said that, it's like, what was Jada feeling in that moment? Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, it sucks that this happened. And this is not the first time it happened. I hate that this was the reaction towards it. You know, maybe he could have done it better. It's already happened, but maybe he could have walked backstage, had that conversation, chin checked him somewhere else, and we would have heard about it like we heard about the elevator incident with Beyonce, and we ain't never heard about it again. It could have been something different. It could have been something that was laid out like that. And Doctor, I would tell you, for me in my house, if that was me on stage, everybody, because these hands are rated E for everyone.
Everyone. That's for me in my house. Rebecca ain't got no sense ever.
For me in my house, we using hands.
Dr. Aisha, if you can hang out with us past this break, I want to ask you, and I want everyone to think about this question. You guys made me think about this. It was that Red Table Talk scene, right, where they were exposing to the world some stuff they probably should have talked about behind scenes and not put it on TV. I want to talk on the internet. Let's talk about how us exposing ourselves so much and so constantly with our hot takes and social media, we kind of exploit ourselves in a way. And I think maybe Will and them had a little bit of that. Let's talk about that after this.
Gosh, wait. So Ben,
Yeah.
I actually can't stay because
You can't stay.
I've joined your homeschool tribe. So it's time for homeschool.
Nice.
Well, look at that. And I should have read Slack. There was the information right there. Dr. Nisha, we have to pick up this conversation when you're available again. Thank you so much.
I love y'all. I love
Thank you. Love you.
Love you too. Thank you so much.
Shout out to the homeschool tribes. Hey.
Homeschool tribe. Let's do it.
We'll be back with more of the show after this.
All right, y'all make sure that you stay tuned in. We got more coming next on the Benjamin Dixon Morning Show. This is a great conversation, man, because there's so many varying opinions and different points, man, and everybody is making a lot of sense. But y'all is wilding in the chat room. I see y'all. Just let y'all know I see y'all. Again, good morning, everybody. Hey, it's me. Talking over me. No? Okay, cool. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned, man. We got more coming up next. Shout out to everybody this morning that has joined us. Good morning, mother and father. I see y'all. Creative Impact, what's going on? Ron, Laura Estrada, good morning. Shout out brother Chuck Diesel in the building. Roller Dragon, I see you as well too. Good morning, y'all. That's Chris Anthony. That is very funny. Somebody said that Will Smith should apologize, of course, which he did, and his consequences should be that there should be a Comedy Central roast of Will Smith hosted by Chris Rock, and that should be what it is. Miss Stewart, good morning to you. Iris, good morning. Brother Bryce, good morning to you. Ron, I appreciate you. Too bad it's not mine this morning, but don't worry, tomorrow I'll be back in there, hopefully. Promises manifesting, good morning. William Moore, what's up, please? Jason Marks, what's going on? Y'all, oh my God, I just got this. David, can you drop the music really quick, David? Can you do that? Okay, here it goes. And I'm just the messenger, okay? There can be 100 people in a room and 99 won't slap you, but one will. All right, David, you can turn the music back up then. There you go. That was my dad jokes in the morning. Like I said, I am just a messenger delivering you dad jokes that I see all the time. And when I saw that, I saw it this morning. I'm like, I didn't see that. I don't get it. And now I'm like, God damn it.
Swerving, making plays, Ferrari red. Never out my zone, touchdown in my hands.
Woo! That's terrible.
Had to cut you off, you left
Rachel,
me out
man,
ever since I was a teen, prices on my head. Had to cut you off, you left me out for dead. They do what I do.
Okay, I got another one for y'all. What do you call a typo on a tombstone? A grave mistake. What color is the wind? Blue. Blue. Get it? Why was 69 afraid of 70? Because they had a fight in 71. Never mind, I messed it up. Damn it. Shout out to David on the 1s and 2s. I guess he's doing the same right there. We appreciate you, David. Lily, good morning to you. Environmental Cop House, what's going on? Oh, hit me. Oh, you know I'm a party with her. We be chilling on the Wednesdays. It feels so weird I'm not pressing buttons to DJ music. See? Now let y'all know all I do is don't spin records. Laverne, good morning to you. I don't wanna go without, so I ask her to stay. Though she broke my heart in a million. Amber Layla, good morning. Snack Panther, what's going on? B, good morning, B. Every day of the weekend. When my baby was up, always down every weekend. No love it too much. Ill Hustler, good morning to you. Y'all welcome back, Rebecca and Ben. Yeah, no, maybe so.
Like It or Not with Benjamin Dixon starts now.
Good morning, y'all.
Well, that was so energetic. Good morning and welcome to Like It or Not.
We have been here. That's why.
Okay,
that's
right.
what it is.
Yeah.
Mama talking about, Bubba, you gonna play your song this morning? Yeah. Like It or Not.
That's what we were missing, to be honest with you.
Oh my God, you know what's so crazy, Bubba? And my nails look really good. Wow.
They do.
Thank you. But you know what's so crazy? I had a dream about you singing that. Why? Last night.
Wait a minute.
What the hell?
Tell us about the song. Tell us about the dream, Rebecca.
Yeah, so
she's setting it up.
And I'm just like it.
It's crazy.
You try to remember?
T-Pain.
T-Pain was in the video too. Wow.
T-Pain was pissed at me because he's like, Rebecca, you better go on that mic and sing something. And then I was like, you don't want me to sing, T. You don't want me to sing. But why were we? I don't know, God. But anyways, I'm telling T-Pain that this is a true story. This is actual and factual. Last night, I guess I was thinking
this is your dream,
but I was homeless.
You got a lot going on. You got more going on in this story than Will Smith's entanglement slap. Wow.
I was homeless, y'all, because I just got this, and I think this is all tying into me thinking about getting up for the show at 8 a.m., thinking about Like It or Not joint playing, and also me getting an email last night, towards last night from my apartment complex. Not only did they raise my rent last year for my year anniversary from being here, they raised it $200. They're raising it now $300 more.
What?
$300 more. And I went a month. Jesus, and my pay has not changed, y'all. And it's coming to that time where I may have to move. So I went to go look for other place to stay in the sketchier areas of town that I've passed. And y'all, the sketchier areas of town, are $500 more
Yeah.
than what I pay now.
Yeah, Rebecca. It makes no sense. Like, Rebecca, we talk all the time. You're like, Bub, you need to come on up here. I'm just like, honestly, I do, because it's cheaper up there. Because down here, I'm like, damn, my little slum apartment going up $100, $200 more. I'm like, nah, bro, it's not. At this point, it's not worth it.
It's
Everything
not
going
worth
up
it
for
at all.
salaries.
It's not worth it at all. And then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna downgrade and go out there. And then I looked out there. I said, they really want us to be homeless. I said this on Twitter yesterday. They really want us to be homeless. And I don't like that feeling. And you guys, I think that, anyways, I say all that to say, last night when I was dreaming, I was homeless in the dream on the side of the mountain that I look at every day through my window. On the side of that mountain, I was homeless. My clothes were outside. And then I came back. And then T-Pain, who lives in Atlanta, was telling me, Rebecca, you better sing. And he was almost giving me that anime, you better eat the cake anime. I'm like,
you gotta like him.
but he had me singing. And then like, Rebecca, do that song like I told you. And I'm like, Bubba. And Bubba started singing, like it or not. This is a true story. I guess I was thinking about having to get up in the morning, the anxiety of my rent going up and not knowing where I'm going to be in about 4 months. And just thinking about wanting to quit my job at the same time. Now I feel like I was telling Ben yesterday, I feel like I'm in shackles more because of this. My pay has not changed, you guys. Where do they think I'm getting this extra money from? Anyways, I think that my anxiety was taking place in my dream. So
that was a lot of dreams. Yeah. So wait, she had the Ike and Tina Turner story in there.
Yeah,
she had the pain in there. Sound like you had a little bit of 5 heartbeats. You had a lot going on in there.
I had a lot going on. I think I was also thinking, like, maybe if I just quit my job and go sing something, I'm being discovered by T-Pain. But then Bubba's like, Rebecca, stop acting like you ain't got no song to sing. You know what?
Did you see me and girl at the same time?
Rebecca, that might be the move.
Listen, I need coins. I cannot be out here tripping for free. It don't work.
Tiger, shut up, Tiger. Sleep paralysis demon, but his bub in the corner whisper singing, like it or not, while poor baby on his chest.
Tiger.
There may or may not be a video of this. I cannot confirm nor deny these.
Wait. I'm just imagining sitting there, because if you ever had sleep paralysis, bro, and you can't, bro, the only thing you could do sometimes is like just
I have a confession. Y'all remember I told y'all about my arm, right? Yeah. So the reason all of that happened, when I got back, I laid in the bed, bro. I had sleep paralysis, so my eyes are open. I'm in the bed just laying there, and I'm thinking somebody is in my living room rummaging around, and I'm trying to get up, and I can't move. So finally, when I'm able to get up, that's when I jumped out the bed, slipped, whiplashed my goddamn neck, and hit my damn arm.
You know what? Thank you for telling us the truth about what happened. Thank you for sharing that.
That's
crazy,
bro.
That's crazy for real, James.
But y'all don't understand, bro.
Yeah, scary things.
I don't even laugh at you, bro.
Like, bro, I fell with such force that I gave myself whiplash and compressed the 3 discs, and that's what happened to my arm.
Because you could have slipped on something.
Yeah,
Rebecca, that's in like the way my bed is. Like, if my arm didn't hit, if I would have went down, I could easily hit my head. Easily. So that let me know that much force. If I was able to jerk my neck that hard, just think if I would have hit my head on the side of the bed. And it's a wood ass bed. And it's hard as hell.
Now, one night while I was asleep, great stuff happened when you sleep. One night I was asleep. I jerked in the bed. I just jerked in the bed, like turning from left to right so hard. I think I damn near broke my neck. Rebecca. But I woke up.
I don't like that word.
What's that? Which word is that?
You used the wrong word, Ben. I was like, I jerked in the bed. I'm like, Ben.
Well, whatever. Oh, well, yeah, come on. Like I run into the double entendres like it's nothing, but you know, like, it just happens sometimes. I switched my neck around in the bed so quickly, Rebecca, that I almost broke my neck, but I certainly gave myself a vertigo vertigo for like 2 days straight because I jerked it so hard. Like, y'all, I hate y'all. Moving on. What are the stories we got?
No, but
that happens, man.
I would hate to have vertigo. I would really, really hate that because I know that makes you feel sick and dizzy all the time.
It's like a spinning reel. It's like the worst drunk night that you ever had. But
yes,
that would be terrible.
I can feel it right now. I do not like to lay
spinning
down
room
in a spin. No.
Oh, being like when you're really, really drunk like that, and you just decide to lay down, and just everything is just like like you in the damn Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, that's why.
Bro, that's what it feel like.
It's making me nauseous right now. Don't do that. It's making me think about drunken night.
Right. It's really it's one. That's why I could never look up. Like for years, I could never like lay down. People, lay down on the beach and just look up the sky. Man, I couldn't do that without feeling like the earth was spinning on its axis on me. So I feel you, James. That stuff at night just throw you off.
See, that's very scary. I would hate for people who sleepwalk and things like that. I know that's very, very scary. Like, Lord, woof. And then sleep paralysis, having, it's me calling Jesus without calling Jesus. I'm in the dream. I'm thinking, Jesus,
right?
Yes. I'm like, oh my God. And it's like, was I saying it out loud or was that in my head?
Right. Oh my God.
I was going to saying Jesus though. Jesus.
Because look, the whole time I'm laying there, I'm thinking to myself, hey, get out of my house. Get out of my house. And, I ain't saying a damn thing.
Get out of my house.
Oh, I thought I was older. Oh man.
For people who are saved though, what do you guys say? I would love to know. Like,
I just know. It's weird. It's crazy.
What are y'all saying? In like when you're fighting the sleep paralysis, what are you saying? Like, what are y'all saying? I would love to know.
The same thing you say, Rebecca, which is crazy.
They're saying something else because if those who are atheists and stuff, whatever, like, because it's crazy to me. I'm like, help. That's what I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying.
Jesus.
That I'd be like,
wait a minute. How many people? I wonder how many people actually struggle with like because they have all the different names for it coming up. They used to call it sleep paralysis. The witch got your back. Something else. There's all kind of crazy stuff they used to call it.
The demon sitting on your chest.
The demon sitting on your chest. That's the one.
It's a lot. But anyway.
How did we get on that? My God, we just went on the whole riff on that one.
I'm gonna tie it into this. I'm gonna end it with this though. For all you guys who are in a
relationship, you don't have to tie it in.
No, but for all you guys that's in a relationship and stuff like that, be careful who you have in your bed, in your home, because they're gonna leave them spirits. They're gonna leave them spirits. The next thing you know, you don't know why you're
gonna be bubbling with baby oil and. What was the tiger saying? Put
the little demon sitting on your chest. I'm also like it.
I remember that.
The ASMR.
It's about to go down.
That's scary. Y'all know I'm scared of the dark. And I know I just told you that I had a dream with Bubba singing that. I don't like it.
Shout out to Tiger, sleep paralysis demon, but it's Bubba in the corner whispering, singing like it or not while pouring baby oil on his chest. I am done. Let's get back to Will Smith. It's a little version. Will Smith manages to be a little bit less messy than this. Go ahead.
Oh, Rebecca. Not you saying I know that spirit when they pull out the Cash App card. I left that man back in last year. Anyway, I'm not talking about that man that pulled out the Cash App card. We'll talk about that some other time. But at the end of the show, I'll give you guys an update on my dating life.
That's too low. That's too meta. That is too meta. Go ahead, Rebecca.
I wanted to go ahead and wrap up this conversation about Will Smith and just give these quick updates so that we can talk about this other particular moment that happened at the award show. But Will Smith did issue an apology. An official apology. He took to his Instagram yesterday and issued an apology saying violence in all of its forms is poisonous and destructive. My behavior at last night's Academy Awards was unacceptable and inexcusable. Jokes at my expense are a part of the job, but a joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear, and I reacted emotionally. I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. I am embarrassed, and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. There is no place for violence in a world of love and kindness. I would also like to apologize to the Academy. the producers of the show, all the attendees, and everyone watching around the world. I would like to apologize to the Williams family and my King Richard family. I deeply regret that my behavior has stained what has been an otherwise gorgeous journey for all of us. I am a work in progress. Sincerely, Will. So that gave me publicist PR get on.
Right? Somebody just said that in the chat too.
And usually it does, and Will doesn't give me that usually. That's what I'm saying. I feel like and mind you guys, I need to be clear. If we have those photos after the award show, this man went to go party. He took a family photo with his family after the fact. And it was strange enough that Will, right before the award show, had posted him and Jada were going to choose chaos at the award show. Yeah, if you go on his page, he has this whole post between him and Jada. This is Will Smith yesterday evening.
Yeah, at the his little Oscar party or something. Yeah, he's out there getting jiggy with it.
I would have gone home. I would have carried my ass
I would have went out to go party too.
We know that's where Chris Rock was. And so after this, or we don't know that's where he was, but after this, happening, the day goes by, and he starts to see that this conversation has gotten so big. So big that everybody is taking part in the conversation. The apology came. And I'm like, finally, but now the sting is there. People are saying why apologize now? Own it. Now they're telling him just to own it. LAPD asked Chris Rock the night of if he wanted to press charges. Chris Rock declined. After Chris Rock declined, because remember, everybody on social media, everybody that I care about opinion. The ones that I didn't care about were making the commentary that he needs to go to jail. Because he can assault someone. Now, I can't say that they were, white people were the only ones having that conversation. We were too, but they were saying that he needs to go to jail. He's violent, whatever the case may be. So I believe that the Academy thought that if Chris pressed charges, they wouldn't have to do anything more because he would have pressed charges, and there goes, that is not something that they have to deal with, and Chris did what he needed to do. They provided the LAPD at Chris's service and things like that. But when Chris declined, now the Academy was being pressured by people and saying, what is the Academy going to do? Take the Oscar, take the Oscar away. And so now the Academy has led an investigation into the events of that night, which is interesting enough because they allowed him to get up on stage, assault, slap five, into Chris' mouth, come back, sit down, stay for the rest of the show so that he can now come and get that award. And now they're saying they want to launch an investigation. Make it make sense for you and I, because I don't know. And also an update on the apology that Will gave. In the same instance, some bald-headed scallywag
Jesus Christ
Facebook and created this apology.
The fake one.
Go viral. An apology from Chris Rock, or a statement from Chris Rock, apologizing and him being a comedian in this world and having to go through what comedians go through. And so many people, even people with blue check marks, were now retweeting this fake apology. But his reps have clarified that is not him.
Right.
He has yet to make a statement publicly regarding the matter, and there's that.
Because I think he's he about to sue the dirt off of Will Smith. Like, it ain't gonna be.
You think
Will
so?
Smith need?
I don't think so.
He is now a meme. He is, as much as I like to give Chris Rock props for sitting there and standing there and taking it, like a G. He's got memes all over the world now of him getting smacked next to Batman and smacking Robin. It's there's a lot of pain and suffering that he could sue for if he chooses to.
Yeah, I don't think he will. Honestly, I think that the only reason a lot of this now is escalating.
This was the fake apology.
Oh, okay. Only thing is escalating so much now, I think, is because everybody's talking about it. Because here it is, 2 days after, you got the Academy now wants to do an investigation because you got all these other comedians that are pressuring, like Rebecca said, pressuring the Academy and then pressuring everybody else to do something where, you know, Chris and Will handle it like they wanted to handle it. Now, nobody really knows. I know we don't know if Chris and Will had a conversation after anything, or if they've talked since then. But definitely, I don't think Chris is going to press charges because Chris didn't know what was going on with Jada. Now he does know. Now he does know the implications of it because he covered it in the Good Hair documentary. Especially, he talked to someone with alopecia before.
That's right.
So now I'm aware that he knows. So it's just one of those. It's just so many damn layers. And oh damn, Rebecca, you said something else. Oh yeah, that statement that Will released, definitely that was a publicist, because as much activity as Will has been doing on TikTok and all his social media, I really think Will would have taken one of those to do a video to apologize. Yeah, really, that's straight up publicist statement.
He probably still got adrenaline running through his blood when he consider all the stuff, all the implications and stuff. So it definitely was a publicist. I doubt very seriously he was able to sit down and write anything, let alone that statement.
And I say about this moment, y'all, and I've been wanting to say this for the longest. It was one of those moments of mess around and find out. Mess around and find out.
I feel like it was a moment of mess around and find out, but then it was also a moment was, damn, I can never do right for her. Never.
And exactly, Rebecca. And then he was just like, you know what? Let me go ahead and stick up for my woman now.
I feel like when he sat down, it was an embarrassment for him. And then I feel like he is somebody who, as much as we feel like he's so open, he's wearing masks.
Yeah. You can see the hurt. You can see that hurt on this man's face because a lot of the stuff that he's doing is crazy. You're so right, Rebecca.
I think that he needs to, and this is the mental health check-in, y'all. Like, I love all the conversations that we have surrounding this. I love how we talk about protecting Black men. I love that it also has started off with protecting Black women, but I love that it also has gone into an area of protecting Black men. I love that it's talking about loving and reassuring and confronting and just all of that.
Healing.
Right? Healing.
Yeah.
But I think, guys, we're looking at what we see in Kanye. Now, Kanye's erratic behavior just is different. He shows it differently. What we see here is a man that's breaking down before us as well. He's breaking down before us.
Yeah.
I'm not a celebrity. But I'm not a celebrity. Y'all been, you are, Bubba, they love you in the comment section. But I'm saying, me coming into this game, getting my first milli on a view, and I got ripped apart when I first got into the politics. On my first video that got 1 million views, I got ripped apart, ripped. And I think I was like, oh my God, I'm a loser. They call my braids carpet hair. I'm like, oh my God, they want to come rape me. I'm just like, then I have to come on here. Yeah. But I had to go in front of those people, those white people that I worked for, and act like nothing was affecting me. Yeah, I was breaking down. I was breaking down. And they just said, Rebecca, you're a strong Black woman who don't need no man. And I felt like I had to keep on coming on every day and showing that. A mask. I was breaking down until one day I went in there ready and I cussed everybody out. And it wasn't okay the way I did it, but it's just like I was so tired, and I was tired of being I couldn't say anything. I feel like, honestly, I say that to say like these people who have all this, I would hate to be someone in a position, where it's like you have all this stardom and you get to a point where like you can't control the people who are tapping into your business, people who are making comments about things that you may say when you're thinking you're being open with your fans and whatever, and they're coming in and they're having all these opinions. You can't control it. They're having opinions on what your baby girl looks like. They're having opinions on your son. They're having opinions on your wife. They're having opinions on your mama. They're having opinions on her mama. They're having so many different opinions, but that's what happens in this space. But it still does not take away from what could be happening inside. And that's what I also see happen to Jada. Jada's going through something that she talked about, but I don't think it has been in a lengthy way where it's like, this was what we defined Jada as, her having this condition. You know what I'm saying? But I can't say it didn't hurt her. It was so much to unpack here in this particular moment.
Hurt people, man.
Hurt people. That's all we saw around the room. Everybody's got.
I mean, that's just America. I mean, but when I woke up, I didn't watch it. When I woke up and I saw it, I was like, this makes sense.
That tweet right there.
Which one is it? The question is rhetorical. Why is it that white feminists have labeled Will Smith's behavior toxic masculinity, but not Chris Rock's pattern of belittling Jada Pinkett Smith and black women as a whole?
The jokes that Will Smith has made, we could say the same thing. Like he's a comedian too. He's acting. If we look back in some of the things that he acted in and what he said, people say the people that Will Smith dated and whatever. It's a lot that we can literally. I'm not a doctor, but on Twitter, you can call me a psychologist, baby. You can call me a lawyer. You can call me an investigator. You can call me all kinds of things. What they said just now, that tweet made sense to me. But at the same time, Will Smith, we can call him out for saying the same things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Is everybody going in circles? Like, what about this? What about this? What about this?
Yes.
What about this?
But we're allowed to do that in this particular moment in this conversation. And when I say we, I'm talking about black people. We're allowed to go in circles in this conversation, but we have to. There's somebody's gonna have to step out and make it like just cut the circle in half and call it a day. We're gonna have to end this conversation at some point, but this has brought about so many different layers. And this is the thing I'm trying to tell everybody: black people are not a monolith. We don't believe in all the same things. We don't carry on the same ways. We can look at a situation and that's what I want to say. We all can relate to this situation in some way.
Yeah. Some way different too.
Some different.
Jada boycotting the Oscars is like Rihanna, like me boycotting Rihanna's panties.
It wasn't invited.
It's like, Chris, come on, man. Like, what is this? And then there was, I just want to know what it is with Chris going after Jada, because it's happened multiple times. But 2016, then he went under Will Smith's comment that he made on his baby's mom's page saying that he loves her and thank you for being the mother of his son. And he's commenting and she commented back saying, I love you too. Thank you to Will and Jada thank you, Jada, for being an awesome co-parent and everything else. And then Chris Rock came in and commented, was just like, damn, that's the best baby mama I've ever seen. You must be doing it. It was just like, what is going on? So it's like they say 3 times a charm.
I've seen Dave Chappelle say worse. I've seen Eddie Murphy say worse. I've seen Cat Williams say worse. And Chris Rock is a comedian. I've seen white comedians open up at the Oscars saying God knows what worse, saying things that are racist, but they think it's just so funny. And this is where I'm like, okay, I'm not saying what he said was right. No, I ain't saying what he said was right, because I'm saying like that lady, what I saw when he said that was pain from Jada's face. Yeah, for sure. But I don't think he said anything that he thought he was saying to really pierce her soul. We've heard him say worse. Chris Rock has said worse. I think Will Smith being a highlight of the Oscars was somebody to go ahead and make a joke too, because we're at the Oscars. He's gonna go ahead and make a joke too, just like when you go to a comedy show, they're gonna get that person in the front row with the shiny jacket. They gonna get that person. They gonna do that. Right. And again, I'm not saying it was right. The slap wasn't for me. That whole thing was just messy. It was just in poor taste. It was something that just ricocheted out of control.
How long do you think people are going to talk? Because I think the way our news is working, we ain't gonna talk about this long, right? I think there's just so much craziness is happening
at the end of the week.
I'm ready to. I feel like we need to be Wednesday, 12 p.m. sharp. move the hell on.
Now you know it's gonna go to the end of the week, especially they still doing that investigation stuff.
To speak up on Friday, it'll be a whole nother thing. But
Jesus Christ, please speak up tomorrow, Chris, so we can get this out the way. Go ahead.
I know, right? Right, then. And the conservative view, this is where we're ended, though. The conservatives have taken this on like they always take on something. Of
course.
And they have taken it on to say that, look what's happening. There is violence, bringing, and they've even gone as far as saying, having Will Packer produce a show, this is what it brings. You can't tell me that's not a racist comment. Crazy. But, Will Packer is black. Once again, for those of you who don't know, Will Packer is black. And he produced the Oscars. So this is the first, right? This is a moment. This was something that was groundbreaking. There were so many things like Questlove winning an Oscar.
Yeah.
Those were moments that I feel like that were taken.
Samuel
L. Jackson, who won an honorary Oscar, and it was given to him by Denzel Washington. These are moments that were also overshadowed by the slap. We call it the slap. There were so many other moments that happened in that night. The fashions, the awkwardness of Meg Thee Stallion coming out to talk. We don't talk in the remix, so we don't talk about Bruno.
But you know what? Pause. I had to say, I'm glad you got there because the whole song itself was just off. Right. Like Megan was the best thing about that. But the whole song itself was off. Like everybody I've talked to, and even on social media, is just like. The whole thing was just off.
You're talking about the performance.
Just the whole song, everything. Okay. It was
the song in the movie makes sense to me.
No, he's talking about the
I'm talking about at the way it was performed. It was just totally off from a music standpoint. It was just off.
Yeah,
it just wasn't good. It didn't come over right.
We lost your camera, but yes, you're right. It was an eerie moment. We lost your camera too, Ben. It was an eerie moment.
Let's go to break.
I think we gotta talk because we done been on since 8:00. We gotta restart. We gotta change the battery. But it was an eerie moment in that time. But I'm saying a lot of those moments were overshadowed. But it's the conservatives who are taking it and saying that it's all about it was made about violence. It was all about violence. It was whatever. But them black folks did come back to their seat and watch the rest of the show. White folks sat there for the show as well. The show continued. Let's be honest. So, and the show was running more smoothly than it did last year. I need people who are making commentary about his actions and are saying, all these things that, this is the Oscars are changing, all these things, and it's been violent. Let's talk about back in the 1930s, I believe, when the and I can't get her name in my head right now. Ben, you know it. You might know it, but the woman who plays Mammy in those roles had to sit in another room outside of the Oscars while she was nominated because they did not want black presence in the room. Right. Let's talk about the moments when hold the music really quickly. Let's talk about the moments when
he's trying to play you off like you're in the Oscars.
And give me a moment. Let's talk about the time when a woman had stood up there and talked about Native Americans and their inclusiveness and them saying that they needed her bringing awareness to their issues at the Oscars, and a white actor, and I can't remember his name, pulling in and trying to and literally go on stage and go off on her saying boo boo. It was just a mess. But let's talk about those moments. We're gonna take a break and we'll bring the conversation back, and then I want to highlight a specific moment by the one and only Tiffany Haddish, who was reading somebody their rights at the Oscars as well.
Wet.
We'll get you guys right back.
All right, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. We got more coming up next year on Like It or Not here on the Benjamin Dixon Show. David has the instrumental music playing. And while we're here, we can talk about it as well too. Beyonce did her thing, which was also overshadowed by everything else. Beyonce did very well. I love that performance. It gave me Kobe and Wingate performance, but it was awesome. Beyonce once again did her thing.
Baby, you set my soul on fire. Every moment
Bronx Banana, you in the wrong. You in the right place. You know you've been here before. Don't act. We just talking about something different today.
We can't get any higher, but if you like to take a ride, we can discover what
Alicia, good morning, Alicia.
Making you move, it sure looks good.
We're back.
Playing it cool like you know you should.
Laura, Beyonce performed at the
Oscars. That's one of a kind.
Yes, she was nominated for a song from King Richard called Be Alive.
Get you off my mind. I'm running too hot, I need to cool me down. I'm flying so high.
Shay, good morning. Right now, yes it did, but you already know the reason that is because We Don't Talk About Bruno is one of the most played damn songs ever, so that is the main reason.
And maybe we can't get any higher, but if you like to take a ride, we can discover.
And let's be honest, Encanto wasn't even all that. I mean, the songs were good, but I mean, Encanto was good. I mean, Encanto was good, but Mitchell's vs. the Machines was much better. Miss Snuru, exactly. I get so sick of talking about them damn people up there on Capitol Hill who ain't doing what the hell they supposed to do. It's good to talk about something else for a change. Laura Strada, most definitely you can look it up on YouTube. They got the performance there. And then y'all can also look up the performance, you know, talking about Bruno as well, too.
And maybe we can't get any higher, but if you like to take a ride, we can discover what we're hiding. Maybe you
There you go, David. I just said it back to you.
every morning and every evening. And maybe we can't get any higher, but if you like to take a ride, we can discover what we're hiding.
Laura Strada, you haven't heard the Bruno song? You should definitely listen to it. Something is, that is the point, that is the goal that I am going for.
Baby, you set my soul on fire.
Infinite content, what's going on?
And maybe we can't get any higher.
Oh, wow. That's a good one, Tiger. I wish I could play it on there, but I don't know how much it would tag the channel. But you know, we don't talk about Bruno, no. We don't talk about Bruno. It was my wedding, it was our wedding day. It's like the most sung song it's in like the world. Damn near. Environmental Copyhouse, I appreciate you. Yes, most definitely, Alicia, most definitely. Right, man, they will take us all the way down. Like if I just play the first minute, they're gonna say, okay, yeah, go ahead, cancel this channel.
Yeah, look, I'm in line with the stars, I'm in sync with the earth. 10 toes deep, flower child from the turf. I never switch sides, like even when I die, I'm a ride for the squad. Lot of times in the hearse. I've been on a vibe, kinda hard to describe. I'm in between, I'm good and fine, but I'm tired of the grind. Then I come alive in the night to realize I'm in the middle of the time of my life. I'm never so packed, never lied on the rap, got a bag from the way that I write it. Queen looking tight.
That's not a bad idea, Brandy. Everybody always asks it.
Talking to the crib in the face.
Well, if you join Patreon.com/like it or not /Patreon.com/the TV show. Maybe you guys will get a mixtape. But in order to get the mixtape, you have to become a patron. Y'all see what I did there? I might just have to do that.
I don't need the accolades, I'm in love with the chase. I just want to eat, save a spot.
Good morning. Tyler, what's going on, little bro?
With the wind, but we knowing that it's cap. 5-hour flights, couple nights.
Shout out to Brandy Edie for a good ass idea. You know, I never thought about this.
Burning down sage, keep the demons away. When I rather give a piece of myself to the page, I'm doing for the praise, love. That's just how I'm made.
From the glass in the mirror.
Yeah.
Alicia, exactly. I think that's the other part of it.
But the last one they hear, eyes blurry, but I couldn't see that. And he cleared down. Start to feel like I'm on one. Settle in, I'll be here for the long run. I'm a slave for the cash, got snakes in the grass, no brakes on the ad, but it's all fun.
And I can get y'all to practice that way with all the stuff on there. You know, y'all stay tuned. It might come out in April.
12 missed calls and I still made a curtain call.
Yeah, right. What's going on, Chris?
Light it up, lighten up. Hear him talking, they ain't right enough, tighten up. Everything that I came for, I left with. I don't bang.
I'm mad that you didn't invite none of us to Miami. All right, y'all, let's get back to it. Y'all welcome back to the stream. Rebecca and Benjamin.
Rebecca.
Morning, Shade Dragon. Good morning, y'all.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. We are in the last 20 minutes here. Rebecca, you were in the middle of making some thoughts and some comments, and I know there's a couple more clips that we have coming up. And I'm with you. We're going to cover this. I'm glad we covered it. I wish we were on yesterday, but we weren't. Speaking of, in about 2 weeks, I'll be doing some Monday interviews and different things. So we'll have some Monday shows coming up. But I think after tomorrow, unless Chris Rock do something, if Chris Rock don't make a move, I think this might die down. He put out his publicist statement, so it might die down. What do you think?
It might die down.
Yeah, I don't think so, y'all.
I think it will. I mean,
like I said, I'm giving it the end of the week.
Nobody's canceling Will.
Yeah,
like,
let's be honest, because I mean,
might take that Oscar,
they ain't gonna take the Oscar. They already said they're not gonna take the Oscar.
No, they're not.
Whoopi Goldberg is on that board, and she said herself they're not going to take the Oscar already. They've already discussed that part of it.
Because it's an argument that can happen because like the picture that was dropped in our Slack, Harvey Weinstein, all these other people, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's talk about them. And then and I wanted he clarified for me, the Native American woman who was mocked by Clint Eastwood at the Oscars. He wanted to literally run up on stage and hit her. And
I know what you're talking about. John Wayne,
yeah.
And so that's what I was talking about. But these are instances I'm talking about historically. The Oscars. That's why we had things like the Oscars so white. This was the point I was trying to make. So when we have white conservatives having these conversations and trying to say that we're trying to make the accusation or the rhetoric or the talking points that black men are indeed threats and they're violent. That's not a conversation for you to have. And historically, down the line of your super white award show, there has been a lot of things that have happened amongst your award shows that have been violent, emotionally, physically. You know what I'm saying? So we can't verbally, we can't say that y'all was just at the damn Capitol on January 6th.
That's right.
Don't you ever tell us nothing about anything being violent. And then the nerve of them to take a speaking point, because this is what they do over there. They took a speaking point from what was his name, Shannon Sharp, when he was on it was First Take or whatever their show is called now. I was watching that live actually, and I heard him say, when as black men, there are three things when we say to each other. When we use the N-word to each other in a different way. When we there go them damn crows in this background.
So that bird fly.
Them crows are,
I thought y'all heard it, but you saw it too.
It's giving Alfred Hitchcock.
That's some Florida stuff. But anywho, What was I talking about?
Oh, Shannon Sharp, the 3 points
Shannon
of black
Sharp,
men.
So Shannon, said that, being called, by a man that don't really care for you, the N-word. And then, he said, we know historically as black people, getting punched is one thing, but getting slapped is another. Because he's like, historically, we got slapped out of disrespect. When we talked crazy or whatever to the master, you know him dropping points. So he said those things. He made those points early in the morning. He made those points. And then he said, as a man, getting slapped is the utmost disrespect. You know what I'm saying? He said, so I would have mopped the floor. He was talking. He said, I would have beat that man. But then I go down later on in the afternoon and I'm seeing this viral clip of a Fox News host saying the same thing, but saying it in a way where black men happen to be violent. How a man, Will Smith, can just get up and walk up to one of the hosts and smack him and go and sit down. No, we can have that conversation, but the point that you're trying to make, you stole from somebody else. And then he said, oh, when you slap someone, we know as men that's a disrespect as men. I'm like, see, y'all can't even get your own points in order because y'all violent. Y'all was over there at the Capitol on January. That was yesterday.
Hello.
I literally was on the Hill telling them, why y'all don't want to talk about what happened on January 6th no more? They're like, oh, we talked about it already. I'm like, no, that was just January. We in March.
Just the other day.
Why we can't talk about that?
Just the other day, y'all.
Just the other day.
Just the other day.
Here's the thing, though.
January
they noticed.
It feels like yesterday.
it was it's still yesterday. We ain't gonna let you forget. I know what you meant. The thing is, it wasn't even that. There was nothing about that screamed gangster to me or thug or anything of the sort. It screamed Hollywood to me. It didn't. It screamed more Clark Gable than Suge Knight. It just didn't. It screamed like a smack that you would get out of Gone with the Wind, and less out of my pimp hand is strong. I didn't feel a lot of heat on it.
It gave me, if messed around and find out was a person, and it just happened. It's like Rebecca said, is at the family reunion.
So you think he calculated a lower amount of strength? Like he was like, okay, I'm up here.
I don't know about lower amount.
On his Instagram, he has this Instagram where he's doing this with the right hand before the show. Because he's doing the outfit change. So it's like looking like he's doing this. They said he was working that hand out.
No, what scene it was? Wait. Do we have a still shot? Can we get an image of him smacking? Remember the movie Twitch? Shout out to our producer Josh.
You mean Hitch?
Hitch. The movie Hitch, where he smacked the actor from what's that? What Mall Cop? Paul Blart, the mall cop. He has a scene. Will Smith has a scene with him where he smacked him with about the same amount of energy as he smacked Chris Rock, from my opinion. But right.
It's just like Chris Rock was the drunk uncle talking about the nephew over there with the wife in the hill. Hey, look at you! I see you over there. G.I. Jane 2 coming out, and then he said, "You know what? I'm sick of you, Unc," and he slapped me. That's what it seemed like.
It could have been Chris Rock was over there showing you what his new talents were at the at the family cookout, and everybody knows him to be the funny guy. And then the drunk uncle was already had something in his system, and everybody already was saying the drunk uncle, and he got issues over there with his wife. It was already being talked about the whole night.
Nah, hell no.
And this person done came up and made his little joke because everybody laughing at his joke. Now he done made a joke over here.
Oh,
and
man.
The drunk uncle said, ooh.
Because you know what? Honestly, this did happen to me in college where, Ben, I think you already gone. And I was we were on the bus. It was like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. We were getting ready to go on the band trip, and I'm tired. I'm drunk as hell. I'm already on this bus. So we had this one dude that was in our section who was the comedian of the bunch. And if I think about it, it's damn near the same thing. So he's going around on the bus talking about people. Everybody's laughing. So he gets to me, and he was like, "Bubba, I heard that you gay. I heard you done it." So he kept going. So the bus just like fell quiet. Nobody's laughing at this point because it was like one of those things where Bubba is not out the closet and Bubba don't talk about his business, but then you decide to want to talk about it to get some jokes. So, bruh, I said, Jay, you need to shut the hell up, bro. You need to shut up. So it was one of those things, mess around and find out. I did everything I could. I jumped over bus seats and I'm about to go for this man. At that moment, I'm just ready to slap. Literally.
Did you get hands on him? Like, I wasn't there for that one. Did you get hands on him?
I did not, because my frat brothers and everybody on the bus held me back. But I did sit down and I did talk my stuff a little bit more, because I heard that you like to let people climb your back too, you little punk ass. You gonna talk about me like that. I got mine, and everybody said they laughed at what I said. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Sometimes it be like that.
It does, and that's why I guess I don't say I see it from both points, because he was wrong as hell. But in the moment, it's just like, and I kind of do this myself. Is you got to think about where you are, who you with, and who's around. Some things you just
what you represent.
Sometimes what you represent, you just can't go up there and do it.
Did you laugh first though? Did you laugh first when they made that joke about you?
No, me? No, I shut the hell up. I'm like, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. It's one of those things like I shut up. I'm like, no, now you coming to me, bro. I don't like that shit. Because ain't nobody talking about me. Y'all know I don't talk about nobody. Y'all do nothing. But now you want to talk about me? Oh, yeah. Now I got to fix you. And that's how I felt.
Mess around and find out.
Mess around and find out.
Yep. That is the way of the world. Did y'all see the actor from Black Messiah? He played he didn't play the
Daniel Kaluuya.
No. He played the other character. He played the guy who snitched on Fred Hampton. But he commented on it, and he was in his fur coat. He just sitting there like a G, talking about, that kind of thing kind of happened, around where we come from. That stuff like that might happen every now and then. Basically saying fools get smacked around the hood where you come from. I wish we had that clip, because sometimes it just happens. And sometimes it costs you a lot of money. I don't think Will gonna get out of this without paying some money for this. I just don't think I think he's gonna get sued real good for this.
Okay. Well, I don't think
y'all think he gonna make it out without paying Chris Rock some money.
No, he's not.
He ain't gonna pay. No,
they're gonna sit down and have a man-to-man. I promise you that.
Honestly, and I don't know if y'all heard what I said. Everybody's saying that the way that Will needs to apologize is that the Comedy Central roast of Will Smith, Chris Rock is gonna be the goddamn host. It's very fitting.
I feel like maybe in a few years, right? I think right now they need to really have a personal man-to-man. We don't need to hear the conversation. It's gonna die down. We're gonna find something else, because that's how we are as the people nowadays. Hate to say it, but we're gonna find something else to go and make.
By Thursday, Kanye West is gonna be back.
He's gonna. Somebody's gonna do something.
Kanye can't take the moment out being in the spotlight.
Oh
Lord!
Like, damn, Will, this was my time,
Right?
And so, but no, seriously, we're gonna find something else to really get at. Maybe Kamala might come out of the woodworks and say she's black.
I mean, at this rate, the aliens have come down. I mean, we've got everything on our bingo card.
Something
since
might
this
happen.
pandemic started.
We don't know, but anyway,
we'll be talking about something else by Friday.
Yeah, so let's talk about something else now. Also at the award show, I want to show you, because I love seeing. I love to see black women reading white women they rights. So anyway, Tiffany Haddish, and this is the woman meant no harm. I'm gonna just say this. The host of the show didn't mean any harm. However, when you've come up in the world and you are now a woman of luxury, you want people to speak to you as such, the same way that these hosts speak to all the other women of luxury of who are white. You get that same respect. Tiffany Haddish made sure that she demanded her respect, and she did it in a comedic relief kind of way. But if you know, you know. Let's take a look.
A little costume change? I'm not wearing a costume. I'm wearing Dolce & Gabbana. It's called an evening gown, darling. This is not, no one's paying me for this. I paid for it. It's custom. Thank you.
Time of death for me right now. You look gorgeous.
This is not an acting gig. This is my life. This what fame look like. This what success look like.
Come on now.
This what money look like. This what it look like. It's what it looks like.
This what it look like.
When is your book coming out called This What It Looked Like? And I will just read the entire
That book's not coming no time soon, but I Curse You With Joy will be out in November.
Okay.
And Layla, the Last Black Unicorn, will be out next month.
So much right now. Okay.
I'm just, trying to accomplish a lot of things before 50. What are you doing?
Well, I'm wondering.
I have no shoes on. I'm jealous.
I'm from Chicago.
And you out here with no shoes on?
This is warm weather to me.
I know it's hot out here to you, right?
Do a little.
Ooh, it was so cringy. Cause she ate her ass up.
She sat there and took it.
She said, your book, that's what it looked like is coming out. She said, no, that's not coming out anytime soon. My other book, such and such, is coming out in November. And then my other book, Black Unicorn, will be coming out soon as well. What are you doing?
She's like, I'm trying to do what I can.
That was a Mortal Kombat fatality, bro.
It was crazy. It was crazy. She was ready. She was ready. I just didn't.
But how you come out there? How you come up with a costume change? Wow.
She said, "How was there?"
He walked right into that,
and she said, "Costume, baby. This is." And she said, this is what I look like.
And did she say little costume change? Did I hear little at the beginning?
A costume change. I think
I'm trying to make it worse.
No, you getting me mad now. But I love her, this ET reporter. I've seen her for years. She's been here. She's one of the originals. I don't think she meant, that's me, literally my disclaimer. I don't think she meant anything harmful by it, but we have to understand some of these things are built inside of people who are not Black, and when they speak to Black people that they know have come from hard places, or the person have talked about their hard places they're coming from. It's been years. Tiffany Haddish is now an established, not only comedian, but an actor. Okay, she is an author. She has so many different titles about herself, and I've seen. This is the Oscars we're talking about. People change all the time to go into after parties. It's like, this is the thing. Or they change because, this was their morning red carpet look. Now when they're going to go sit, as a woman of luxury, you have that option. You can do whatever the hell you want. So when you speak to me, you ask me what I'm wearing. She said costume. She said, no, this is a gown. Baby.
So many other words she could have used. Wardrobe.
I bet she'll find them words now.
Dress. She said costume.
She said for me. She knew she tried it because I want them to be afraid. I want these reporters to be afraid.
Wait, that's the first time we saw Will Smith smack somebody was a reporter on the red carpet, actually. Now that you talk about it.
The reporter tried to allegedly tried to kiss him, and the reporter is French. So when I'm Haitian. We have same customs when it comes to that. When you greet somebody, you kiss them. And so that's what allegedly happened, that he was trying to kiss him, and Will Smith gave him a nice love tap, like a nice love tap. And
a little more force behind this one. He had a little golf swing behind the Chris Rock one.
And did y'all see what?
Yeah, rotation in the hips.
What she said? Yeah, I saw. She said she would have had a
conversation with Jada,
to her husband, and so she told us you need to go.
Who said that now? Wait, who said that?
Said she had a conversation with Jada, said, "Girl, you better suck his D from the back."
Oh Lord, wait, who said this though?
Tiffany Haddish the judge.
Oh, Tiffany don't play. Tiffany ain't playing.
So Tiffany, when Tiffany got a drink in her too, she ain't no joke. But anyway,
don't play.
I love that moment for Tiffany Haddish. I am going to replay that. I'm going to become that. I'm going to live that. I'm going to post that in my stories maybe once a month, so that I can remember who I am when these people are speaking to me in any other avenues that I'm working in, while I'm working in those avenues, and they just have some way of speaking to people with melanin. You're going to address my softness. You're going to address my luxury like you address everybody else's that comes in this environment. All right. So we're at the end of the show, you guys. I do have to go. I'm going to the dentist to go get these teeth.
We're finished.
So, I love you guys so much. And
it was good being with y'all like all morning. Like we were here from like 8 to 10.
We were.
That was all right. That was cool. I liked it. I appreciate that.
It was cool.
Glad you came.
Oh, I thought you
glad to have you here.
Oh, I thought you were saying come again at 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. I was like,
all right, Rebecca. 8. What's that?
What's that?
Anyway, play some closing music. Get out of here, man. I love y'all. It's been a great morning.
Y'all mean it. Appreciate y'all.
Give me run me my taco money. Thank you, Lakeith.
And she called him out by name.
I hate you.
Next time.
Bye,
Take
guys.
care, everybody.
All right, y'all. We are out of here. But of course, I can't go anywhere without giving you your affirmation for the day, and also making sure that you join patreon.com/likeitnornot or patreon.com/the DPD show, and also go to act.tv/join, and not only follow but act. Did I say it right, David? I probably messed it up. But anywho, your affirmation for the day is: I am confident that my difficult days will end and I will find joy again. I am confident that my difficult days will end and I will find joy again. Y'all go be great, man. Bubba's Mixtape Volume 1 is coming soon. It has officially been announced today. So make sure that y'all join so y'all get access to it. Love y'all, mean it. We will see y'all tomorrow, Wednesday. Y'all go be great. Deuces.
Unlocking all the memories of my new home. Ventilated echoes playing to and fro, back and forth, yeah. Caught some kids dancing in the alleyway. Crazy how the melodies began to play, yeah. Tell me how you feeling when you hear the lyric, yeah. My heart's in Stockholm. Now I never wanna go home. I left my heart in Stockholm. Now I never wanna go home. Shopping the girl, I brought a girl on my Vespa. She said I already told ya, yeah. I never dated a black guy. I said you're brown yourself. Let me offer help. Come on inside, where everybody knows your name. Everybody knows your name. Time to catch a flight, but you can make me go. Unlocking all the memories of my new home. Ventilated echoes playing to and fro, back and forth, yeah. Caught some kids dancing in the alleyway. Crazy how the melodies began to play, yeah. Tell me how you feeling when you hear the lyric, yeah. My heart's in Stockholm. Now I never wanna go home. I left my heart in Stockholm. Now I never wanna go home. Summer to God. Sunlight that always stays in and by the waterway. It's that sweet life, sweet life, sweet life. I never wanna go home, go home. I'm living in Stockholm, Stockholm. I never wanna go home, go home. Living in Stockholm, Stockholm. I never wanna go home, go home. I'm living in Stockholm, Stockholm. Yeah. Shut up, I got the bed, the body. We got girl,